glasses are coming out, which is a good sign. Because frankly, I couldn't even imagine being in a bad mood right now. Sun's out, clouds across the friggin' horizon. It's not too cold out. I think it's like, 60. 60's nice. 60's nice. I don't mind 60. Might prefer maybe a 65. Maybe a 60. Honestly, a 68 would be perfect. That'd be room temp. But 60 is freaking cool. And then the sunlight, I mean, I can already tell my arms getting a little bit warm. But plan for today with arms, I'm definitely going to make use of this positive surrounding energy and translate it directly while condensing it at the same time. I know it's a little bit tricky to wrap your head around, into my biceps and my triceps. Not concurrently, of course. Triceps first, biceps afterward. But I guess me saying that is kind of sort of confirming that I guess if I looked out and it was real gloomy, like UK style weather, maybe that'd make me not upset, but I could definitely see how that could happen. But I mean, that's where I think if you can adopt the mentality of see something positive, highlight it, make note of it, enjoy it, right? I mean, every time you see somebody walking their dog or something, it's just nice, right? And then if there's not so much positive around, it's raining, it's whatever, it's cold, it's wet, just don't even think about it, right? Focus on your own kind of primary directive. But with arms today, I can almost guarantee that they are going to be pumped beyond belief. And the reason I can say that is, honestly, for one, I know I've got more carbs in my system, and I'm getting heavier, but also, even just based off of yesterday's back day of really throwing some freaking weight around, I mean, my back pump, obviously right now I'm going to be as pumped as I've ever been for this year, because for, the last 2 months I've been dieted down. So obviously now that I start bulking, of course, I'm going to be more pumped. But yeah, that back pump last night was nuts. So I can almost guarantee that this arm pump will match it, if not exceed it. So might go a little heavier, might do a little more volume. We'll kind of have to see. Because the more food I can eat, and the more you could essentially just say recoverability I'll get. Because once I'm eating a ton of food, I'm going to be able to come back the next day after a lift and not feel too much residual soreness. If it's a leg day, a different story, but like a chest or back or something, it won't impede that next lift. So that means I get to go extra hard in the gym. And I mean, last arm day, I think I was curling, I think for some of the heavy sets, I was doing 70s. Yeah. So, I mean, that's not the point. Heavier weight doesn't mean bigger biceps, but bigger biceps does mean you can move around heavier weight. So they kind of play off each other, but there's no need to ever curl like 100. I think there's never gonna. I doubt there's ever gonna be a recreation of that Levrone clip where he's freaking curling the 100-pound dumbbells in your face. 100-pound dumbbell. Yeah, that probably won't happen, but. I don't mind some heavy curls as well. I really do get a little bit, not upset, but, I mean, I don't know. Is it really that different? Because for me, because you could kind of say I was watching fitness stuff starting in, like, 2018, 2019. Like, that was right when I started working out on my own. I do not remember everybody making such a fuss about how you worked out. Like, that's more of a recent thing. That's more like the last 2 years kind of thing, and I really think it's setting us back, because I mean, I keep seeing sets of like guys doing all sorts of different styles of sets, like what do they call it? Yeah, I've seen a bunch of 10 TikToks almost in a row of guys doing dead stops. So the premise of that kind of set, I guess, was you do a press and then you rack it to the bottom and just sit there for a second, take a breath, then do another one. And it's, I mean, yeah, that could be a good set. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's, it's like you're mining for gold when these guys are like, okay, what's the best set? Like, that's not even, there's good intensifiers, but don't freak out on a set-by-set basis. If I walked into the gym and, the guy in the front desk said, Sam, dude, everything is broken. Everything in the gym is broken. The only thing that you can use is you can use one cable with a push-down handle, and you can use the 50-pound dumbbells. That's all you got. That's it. You got only that for like the next 3 months. Honestly, I think I could still make some pretty damn good arm gains. I mean, yeah, only 50-pound dumbbells, definitely limiting yourself. But, dude, I mean, I've had workouts where I had access to everything else in the gym, and all I ended up doing for that day, just to keep it simple, was push downs and then heavy dumbbell curls. Now I kind of moved down the rack because I got weaker set by set by set, but it's like, I don't think the magic is in the exact execution or the exact set itself. It's more in its execution, right? If you go hard and you go crazy and you finish your workout with an awesome pump, you did it. That was a good workout. Make sure to get some progressive overload. Make sure that you're gaining weight steadily over time, or if you're dieting, make sure you're losing weight steadily over time. But as long as those are kind of in place, don't freak. I mean, we are stressing the details right now, and it's like, eesh, what happened to just pick up some freaking weight and move it around? That's kind of what I stand for a little bit more. But that, I'm not knocking trying to really improve your training on the execution side either. Like, that's not my shtick. I'm just saying, don't forget that effort comes first, and then that optimization is going to kind of come a little bit later, But that's all I got to say there. No more set style ranting. How about I freaking focus on my own workout and get ready for thinking about what I want to start with? Because triceps first, but not exactly certain what set number 1 will be. So I guess we'll both find out together. Let's start with some light squeezing work. Cables yay high, yay wide. And I'm not joking when I mean light. Like, I can move this pretty well. And then this kind of crossbody action. I mean, it's like you're doing a rope without the rope, Because with a rope, you don't just push straight down. You're kind of pulling it apart. So your hands are feeling more of a force pulling it than like in and up. So it's the same thing with the rope, right? So even when it gets to the bottom, it's not really a rest. Like, if you push down with a straight bar, you could probably hold the bottom for a pretty dang long time. But with something like this is the really hard part to hold. And I want to make use of that by an extra flex. So probably a few of these, we'll see. Oh my god, okay. Holy shit. Yeah, that was the perfect weight too. I think 2 more of these, and then we'll move on to something, not sure what exactly. Okay, my god. Oh man. One more. Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh my God. Let's do some overhead extension. I think that'll be a perfect next movement. Overhead extension, slightly heavier than the stack, but you're pretty strong with this kind of movement. So I kind of realized I'm sort of going against my own sentiment in the car. I was talking, oh, just move some shit around. Look, exact example, light squeezing sets are pretty damn cool. But I want to counter them with some heavier ones too. You know? Alright, okay. No. Oh my God, okay. All right, that might have been too much. Let's lose the extra plate, but do one more. I gotta put this pin back too. Oh my God, okay. Holy crap. Wow. Yeah, let's do some dips next. Well, I don't know how heavy I can go. Let's do a feeler rep with the stack, and it will either be manageable or too heavy. Yeah, that'll be cool. This might be a drop set though. Oh my God, oh, that was too heavy. Oh my gosh, okay. Ooh. Yeah, that's enough of tries. Let's start curling something. Heavy cable curls, but not heavy in a nasty way. Heavy as in as much weight as I can lift with like a second hold at the top for the first, you know, I don't know, however many reps. And then the last few might get a little dirty. But in the beginning, I don't want any language or anything else. I want pure bicep. So those are my cues I'm thinking of. Okay. Oh my gosh. Whew. One more just like that. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's enough. Let's move on to something else. 60s would be perfect. Oh my god, okay. Holy shit. Oh, one more. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Yeah. Let's do something else. Let's see what I can do with a 25 and a 10. Combined with fast lane at nearly max volume. Oh my gosh. Let's do one more, and I think that'll be it. The next one will be a little bit of a drop set too. My plan is preachers to failure with this weight, rack it, flip around, lose a 10, and then just regular curls with the 25. I think that will add up to a perfect finisher. To we own it. Oh shit. Okay. Holy shit. Oh, let's pose down. We're down. And as expected, pump to SHIT. Nice and centered under at least one of the freakiest lighting spots in this gym. Now let's just see how arms are looking. And honestly, I don't know. Maybe I should have done more of a back and forth tricep, bicep. Because now, I mean, I feel like if I had to grade it, biceps are pumped A+, but tris have kind of, you know, deflated just a little. Not a lot, but a little. So either way, let's see how they're looking. Oh my gosh. You do not have to be an exercise scientist to be able to tell that this is a pretty damn good arm pump. And I just realized I forgot the measuring tape, but whatever. Honestly, just the visual representation is good enough for me. I don't need the quantitative data just yet. And honestly, there's something to take away from that, because if you're constantly measuring your arms day by day, they're not going to freaking change on a day-by-day basis, right? They're going to change on like a month by month. You might notice like a half inch here or a quarter inch here, but if you're doing it all the time, you might just be toiling, right? Focus on the shit that's actually going to grow them. Don't just try to focus on seeing growth. I mean, you're literally trying to watch grass grow. Actually, grass grows faster than your biceps will on a bulk. So, goes to show it's going to take a while, but that's the fun part. So, let's scram. I know it might sound a little kind of like played up and sort of cliche, but yeah, it feels good that these sets are, you know, a little bit more akin to a real battle of attrition right now. Because I mean, over the last 4 months or so, obviously I was still training pretty hard, like I was pushing it on the sets, but there was a lot more sets where I was like, okay, that's enough, right? You know, just trying to it's not like I was holding myself back, like I was doing an amount of weight that matched like my kind of strength level and the amount that I like wanted to put tension in my tendons and everything else. But now that I got some food in my system, right, I can really push it. So especially with those sets of rope extension, or no, cross body cable extensions, I really wanted it to get to a point where the only reason that I couldn't extend and do another rep, even another partial, wasn't because I couldn't handle like the discomfort of the set. Because those ones, my triceps were on fire. Like they were burning. That was really good. But you know, you can end a set because you just kind of, it's getting kind of hard. Rack it, right? Or you can really just keep pushing it and get a few extra reps out. And I think those extra reps at the end, that's the sweet spot. You know, you're not going to make any gains from those first 3 reps, right? I mean, just imagine taking a full chest day where you did, I don't know, maybe even you kept it moderate with your weight, and you did about 15 reps on all your movements, and around 15 was about failure, right? That'd probably be a good lift. Now imagine if you did the same lift, but same movements, same weights, and then you only did 3 reps of each movement on those sets. And you're like, okay, there we go. Right? That's not where the sweet spot is. Those ones are easy. That's when you're fresh. That's when you're strong. That's when you can really move the weight around and freaking control it or exert your force over it and, you know, be kind of nasty with it. But at the end of the set, right, when it's getting hard, oh, my chest is burning, my triceps are burning, it's getting hard to breathe, right? That's what's kind of fighting against you. You know, those are the sort of, not subconscious, but just feelings that might deter somebody from saying, all right, and going for one more. You know, so I think I did pretty well, but honestly, I don't think I pushed it as hard as I could have. Like, I know I could probably get a little more, but it's, you know, it's kind of like a give and take, right? Because do you really think you could have gotten more, or are you just saying that? Or, you know, usually it's the other way around, right? Usually it's, oh, I couldn't have given any more than that. But it's always, that's kind of just a little bit of a cope, one might say. I mean, I've seen sets, the most egregious example of this, which is not a bad thing, because you have to work up to that. I mean, if real muscular failure is right here, and absolute zero effort is obviously down here, as a beginner, I think I was ending my sets probably somewhere in the middle. Like, I thought I was training pretty hard, and for me at the time, I was training pretty hard, but reaching that true kind of muscular failure is kind of just a skill you start to develop. I think half physical, half mental, because the mental side, all right, this shit's hurting, I should rack and be done. Not the most badass mentality, right? This shit's hurting, I gotta dig deep. That's a little bit cooler. You know, so that's something you have to build up. So I'm not dogging on this guy, but it is an example of the fact that sometimes you do have a lot more in the tank than you might be willing to, you know, take it, or than you might even be, you know, totally knowledgeable of your own capability of, you know. So I was at American Barbell, I don't know how long ago, kind of a while. It had to have been maybe a year. So I wonder if this guy knows I'm talking about him. He probably doesn't, but, you know, who's to say? Who's to say he even sees this? But they were, it was like a group of dudes, all kind of, not beginner lifters, but like they were younger guys, and they're on hacks. And one guy's on they're on pendulum squats. So one guy's doing a set, you know, he's telling his buddy, he's like, no, rack it. I don't know. He said something like he's done. And the other guy's like, no, come on, you got more. Like the other guys are, you know, doing a damn good job as training partners, getting them hyped up to really push it. And at the end, you know, I'm kind of like, not stalking, but I'm just listening in. The guy's like, dude, I got an extra 10 reps, man. Nice. Or I don't know. They said something like that. But the gist was, he wanted to end the set, but really he did 10 more reps. Right? Dude. That set where he really pushed it versus the one where he might have racked it just when he wanted to. Very different sets. A very different stimulus. And the bar just gets raised, you know? So that's kind of why I like assisted reps, which I'm kind of gonna add in a bit more frequently now, because when you do a set with assisted reps, usually that's a guarantee that you've hit muscular failure. Because, you know, with those preacher curls I was doing, that last set I was actually going pretty good with. Could I have really gotten one more? Like, if I really dug deep and killed it, I think I might have been able to finish one of those extra reps that I, you know, that I just couldn't get up. But if I had somebody helping me with some assisted reps, then they would have helped me get like 3 or 4, maybe even like 5 more assisted reps. And if at any point on the way up, if the guy would take his hand off the bar, like, there'd be no chance I could keep it going. It would just probably like drop straight to the ground, you know. So adding in intensifiers like that can sometimes almost take the pressure off you, because it almost guarantees failure. Like, just the nature of an assisted rep set is such that you have to achieve failure first, and then, right, obviously those next few reps will require the assistance of that third party. Ideally, a jacked third party who's amped out of his mind on pre and is in the same zone that you are. So that's one benefit of, you know, being bros with at least a couple dudes in your gym, because they can help improve your training, and vice versa. You know, just kind of improve the overall vibe of the space in general. But that was a really good arm day for me. And now I get to go home and freaking eat. Now, what will I eat exactly? I'm not totally sure. This morning was 12 ounces of turkey breast from a big ass, like, Costco vacuum sealed sort of situation, which is definitely the best way to do it, because the deli turkey is kind of weird, because it's not like an actual turkey breast, it's just bits of turkey all kind of combined into this thing and then sliced deli style. But the actual turkey breast is like just legit meat off the bird. And even though, you know, it's like pre-cooked and it's been sitting for a while, like, something about having it vacuum sealed and everything. I mean, if you take it out of that seal, put it in a big ass Ziploc, or, you know, one of the gallon freezer bags, I mean, the thing is nice. And it's so easy to cut yourself off a chunk like that. I think I think I might be making myself sick of the eggs a little bit. Yesterday I had 2 dozen, because I had a little less than 2 dozen, because it was 6 whole eggs and then 6 egg whites, once for breakfast and then later on as my last meal. And I think I kind of egged myself out. The eggs are good, but I think that maybe that doesn't have to be a staple of every day. Plus, then honestly, I mean, if you eat enough, you kind of start to smell like eggs a little. Like, not a lot, but just like enough where I'm like, okay, this might be a little too much, right? Let's branch out. Let's lean in towards some more ground beef. And now that I think about it, I think I might want some sardines. Now, I'm not, I kind of am talking sardines straight out of the can. Certainly hitting your omega-3 values. Plus, I'm pretty sure they're full of creatine. Like, way more than anything else. So, you know, a little gross by most people's standards. And obviously, I'm not sitting in front of a can of sardines thinking, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. I love this. But, you know, it is pretty good, right? It's like olives, you know. Some people like olives. Doesn't mean you want to eat a whole bowl full of olives. But in moderation, it's alright. That's probably why they put them in the little tins where it's only like 12 of them. If you see a guy eating two tins of sardines in the comfort of his own home, so he's not stinking up the area, I don't see a problem. You know, I probably wouldn't bring those to my school's lunch, or like to well, I definitely wouldn't have brought them to my to the summer job when we were painting the streets or painting crosswalks. That would have brought up some questions. But you know, whatever you got to do, right? I mean, honestly, I started doing the sardines when I was younger because I felt cool. Because honestly, they weren't the most tasty thing ever, but they're full of freaking protein, solid fats. I mean, obviously drain most of the oil and then kind of pat it down with like paper towels to make it a bit more balanced, right? So it's not like the greasiest thing ever. But that's also why I like drinking the egg whites as a beginner too. I was watching Rocky at the time, and that was Rocky 1 through 4. Those were some core components of my initial hype as a young lifter. That was back when I was a 160, 170 pounder. Feels like years ago, but it also feels like yesterday. Isn't that fun? The long game. Absolutely freaking loving it. But I think that's all I got for arms today, so I will see you for legs tomorrow. Now, will I go crazy with quads? To be determined. We'll have to see. But hamstrings will be getting a beating. I can guarantee that. So I guess we'll just have to see to what degree I can achieve it. So I'll see you then.